Hello, my name is Albert Roman and welcome to my M2U00005 Microteaching Assignment. Today I want to talk about Jean Piaget. Jean Piaget was a Swiss clinical psychologist who lived from 1896 to 1980, and he developed a set of steps that all children have to go through before they reach maturity. The 4 steps are the sensory motor, the pre-operational, the concrete, and the formal operational stage. Sensory motor is from birth to 2 years of age, and this is where you have your infants. Infants explore the world around them by putting everything in their mouth and grabbing things, shaking them, throwing them, just trying to see what is what. They also explore the environment around them, but at this point, they still have not gotten past the out of sight, out of mind stage. That when they reach 7 to 9 months, that begins to develop. They now start to realize that things that they have, just because they can't see it, they start to realize that it's still there. The pre-operational stage starts from 2 years to about 7. At this stage, the pre-operational stage, students or children, however you want to look at them, can begin thinking symbolically. That means they can see a symbol and associate it. That's when your children start to realize that McDonald's is not the same as Burger King. The concrete operational stage is when children start to think more logically. They can put 2 and 2 together and get 4, for example. They're less egocentric, and the world is not just about them. Me, 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 me. They now realize that there's more to it than just them. However, they still cannot think hypothetically. They cannot think in such an abstract way that they can process things like science and algebra yet. That comes with the formal and final operational stage. The formal stage is when they can now think about things in this abstract fashion. They can get the algebra, they can get science, they can see how things are put together, how one thing can synthesize into another. They can also understand complex relationships like justice or right from wrong. They can also do more than one thing at once. Now, the final stage goes on throughout the rest of their life. We're always learning new things. We're always adapting to new situations. These 4 steps are not so much written in stone. Piaget believed that every child has to go through them, but they can last different amounts of time. A child can jump from the concrete operational stage to the formal rather quickly if his or her development is that much quicker than, say, their peer. That doesn't mean anything is wrong, that just means that everybody matures at different rates. Let's go over a few questions. Let's name 3 indicators of the sensory motor stage. During the early stages, infants are only aware of what is directly in front of them. Oops, there's a typo. They are constantly experimenting, such as shaking, throwing things, and putting things in their mouth. Between 7 and 9 months, infants begin to realize that objects continue to exist even if they can't be seen. This is known as object permanence. That means you can't fool them anymore. 3 indicators of the pre-operational stage. Children are able to think about things symbolically. They can develop memory and imagination. This is where their ability to make believe comes from. Thinking is based on intuition and are not yet capable of grasping complex concepts. The concrete operational stage. More logical thinking. thinking becomes less egocentric, but still cannot think abstractly or hypothetically. The formal operational stage, they can understand abstract concepts such as algebra or science. They can think about abstract relationships such as justice, and they can process multiple variables in systematic ways. These four stages are in all of us. We go through them all. Nobody's exempt. And this is how human beings develop and grow up and become members of society. Thank you.